Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I know it's an early start. I've waited to get as many attendees as possible. I just want to start by saying that if you haven't already introduced yourself to the person next to you, please do that and just explain who you are, the organisation you represent. I am Mike Pitt, founder of Marketing Fundamentals. In a few moments, I'll give you an overview of what we're trying to get out of today's session. So there'll be some theory and then some practical exercises, and that's why the pens are there and the pieces of paper, the 3 tasks that we'll work through. So give you 1 minute to just introduce yourself to somebody close to you that you haven't already spoken to. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So first, just a little bit about me. So I was born in Manchester in a time that we could definitely describe as pre-internet. I moved from there to Worcestershire age 6, and then came to there until 18, and then came to London to university, and I've been here ever since. I worked for over 19 years in large advertising, direct marketing and sales promotion agencies, including TBWA, Publicis, on large corporate brands, including Coca-Cola, Hewlett-Packard, Prudential, Vauxhall Motors. And then in 2010, I had an epiphany, and I said, well, why don't I use my marketing expertise and skill set to help business owners and entrepreneurs? Because the corporate world can get quite bureaucratic, legalistic, driven by compliance, and it can be a bit of a drain. So, when I was originally attracted to marketing, I wanted the dynamism, I wanted the opportunity to work with innovative new technologies and to work with fast-thinking and quick-moving people. So I made a change and created Marketing Fundamentals. The focus of Marketing Fundamentals has always been content. So content in its broadest sense, including blog, social media, and using original, unique content to promote the services and the products of the companies that we work with. Not in a very overt sense in terms of, we've got this new product out, blah, blah, blah. That's not going to work in the new marketing environment we work in now. So it's more in based on reciprocity. If we can address, and we'll come to the structure of blog posts and the methodology, etc., a bit later, but if we can address our customers and potential customers' problems and give them solutions and action points and places to go to, they will be very receptive to this and appreciative to this, and when it's time for them to consider our products and services, they will come to us. This is I was speaking to a client recently, and she said, but I'm putting everything out there. It's exactly what we do. Just because you know the strategy to achieve something doesn't necessarily mean you can implement it. I know the strategy to defeat Usain Bolt, for example, is to get a lightning start and to hold my form between 60 and 80 meters, but I'm never going to be able to do that. I know the strategy, but I can't implement it. So our whole foundation of how we work with business owners and entrepreneurs is by spreading, obviously, the strategy, helping people with value-added content, and then building relationships with our customers and extending our network. Okay. So, outline for today. That's going to be a problem. Outline for today. Quick definitions. I'll go through those verbatim because I want to draw your attention to a couple of things afterwards. Then, why blog? I've identified 5 core reasons why you should blog. Some of the benefits they're backed up with social proof. And then we'll move on to idea and execution. Speak for roughly half of the time we have available. And then we'll work through the exercises, and that's why the pens and paper are there. And you'll get to sort of cement that learning and embed it straight away rather than walk away vaguely in a couple of days trying to remember what I said you should do. And then we'll go through blog format, how you execute your blog, and notes for further reading. Okay, what is a blog? Short for weblog, a blog is a web page that serves as a publicly accessible personal journal for the individual. Typically updated daily, blogs often reflect the personality of the author. Let's move on to the branding definition. A brand is a unique design, symbol, words, or combination of these. Most of you will think of this properly as a strapline and logo, and this is what we understand when we think of brands like Google and Coca-Cola. It's my contention that both of those definitions are wrong. And that's one of the obstacles that when we're starting to work with a new client we have to overcome. The first one is, if we go back to the blog definition, an online, daily, personal diary. How is that going to be of interest if you're trying to attract customers and leads and prospects or investors, other stakeholders, you're trying to update them with what you're doing? An online personal diary is going to be of limited appeal. I've already talked about reciprocity, and an online personal diary does not really meet with that brief. That's the first thing. Branding is really your reputation. Generally, consumers are not that concerned about the shape of your logo, the colours you've used, whether your logo has evolved over time. First draft of this presentation, I had a slide with the original Google logo, and it looks different, but similar to the current logo. And the same with Coca-Cola. The guy called Frank Robinson, who came up with the Coca-Cola script in, I think it was 1883 or something. Not really of that much interest. It's still very similar to the current Coca-Cola logo. Your brand is your reputation. So if we can think of an example from 2010 with BP. So 2010, BP was a very well thought of global brand, and then we had the Deepwater Gulf of Mexico spill. Now, their inability to deal with that, or seeming inability to deal with that very well, really damaged their reputation. It might take 2 or 3 generations before the reputation is back where it was. So your brand is what your consumers, potential consumers, investors, partners think of you in terms of your actions and in terms of how you communicate. So BP was obviously at fault there, not only not being able to solve the problem quickly, which is a very big problem to solve, but also in not communicating what they were doing, not accepting blame. So your brand is your reputation. This has great resonance for business owners and entrepreneurs that we work with, because if you're starting a new business, a new organization, you can very quickly establish a brand as a reputation. You can't necessarily spend tens of thousands of dollars, pounds, euros on brand design, logo design, strapline research and then implementation, but you can establish a brand. People can understand exactly what you represent. And that's very important for how we deliver and execute the blog. So, to answer the question that I set myself, blogging is new branding and will help you achieve. Now, there's 5 core areas we're going to look at. Does anybody have an idea about what might be the most important or the quickest result you'll get from blogging? Richard?
Online presence.
Exactly. So, better search engine results. When I started blogging, I originally started blogging for a different business, and that's a different presentation, 2009. When I started blogging for Marketing Fundamentals in 2010, marketing, you can imagine marketing fundamentals, marketing consultancy, there's a lot of competition in this area. There's lots of big agencies, there's boutique agencies, there's a lot of competition, so very difficult to have a voice and have some visibility. However, within a few weeks, I was able to get some good ranking in search engines because of blogging. One of the variables